From the Black Plague to Corona, epidemic outbreak throughout history. Plague of Justinian, Black Plague, Spanish flu, Asian flu, HIV, and swine flu are epidemic diseases that left many casualties throughout history. And now Corona is added to the history of epidemic. Stay with us until end of the video. Hello guys, welcome to the new video on the Black Ocean. As you know, we're going to talk about contagious disease. The first one is the outbreak of the plague in the Byzantine Empire. It is talk about the plague of Justinian and the assassinated empire, which began in 541 or 542 AD, continued for 2 countries. The epidemic killed at least 25 million people during this period. This figure was equivalent to 13 to 26% of the world population at the time. It is estimated that the plague of Justinian, which killed 5,000 people a day at its peak, halved the population of continental Europe in just 12 months. The plague of Justinian also caused 40% of the population of Constantinople to die due to this disease. Black Plague. The outbreak of the Black Plague again, which this time became known as the Black Plague or Black Death, began in 1334. This pandemic that spread in Europe, Africa, and Asia left between 75 and 200 million dead. Mice played an important role in this transmission of this disease and its spread. Black Plague first spread like the new coronavirus in Hubei province, China. After the outbreak of this disease in Hubei province in 1334, this disease quickly spread to other provinces of China. In 1346, the Tatars brought the Black Plague of the Eastern Europe. It's estimated that between 30 and 60% of the population of Europe perished due to the Black Death. Spanish flu. The outbreak of the Spanish flu began in 1980 after the end of the First World War. This disease is known as one of the deadliest epidemics in the history. The Spanish flu spread in Asia, Europe, North America, and even the Arctic and some remote islands of the Pacific Ocean. More than 500 million people were infected with this Spanish flu, of which between 20 and 50 million people died. One of the differences between the Spanish flu and the previous flus was that many young and adult victims died. This is despite the fact that its previous influences, mostly old people and children were killed. The epidemic continued until December 1920. Asian flu. The spread of the Asian influenza virus that started in 1956 killed 2 million people in China, Singapore, Hong Kong, and the United States. Nearly 70,000 of the victims were Americans. It is estimated that a total of 50 million to 1 billion people were infected with this disease by 1958. Most of the victims were elderly people. Asian influenza virus was a type of bird flu. The spread of HIV/AIDS. HIV as the virus that caused AIDS was first observed in 1976 in the Democratic Republic of Congo. The outbreak of the virus has killed 36 million people since 1981, and it's estimated that about 38 million people in the world are infected with HIV. Medical advances have made the life expectancy of people with this virus to be the same as normal people with medication. At the same time, patients in underdeveloped countries are still facing differences in the accessing medicine due to their high cost. In this regard, in 2018, about 770,000 people died due to AIDS. The peak period of HIV infection was between 2005 and 2012. Swine flu. The swine flu virus outbreak started in Mexico in 2009 and continued until the end of 2010. The result of a research by scientists published in 2011 shows that between 11 and 21% of the world's population was infected with this virus. World Health Organization experts believe that around 284,500 infected people died worldwide. The World Health Organization announced in November 2009 that cases of swine flu virus infection have been reported in 119 countries or regions of the world. And finally, we reached the corona. The corona, which shocked the whole world for several years, and many people became victims of stress and many people died due to this disease. And the main problem was that this disease is very was contagious. And if you even went to a place where a person carrying corona was there recently, the chances of you getting corona were very high. COVID-19 caused many deaths and many people lost their job and people experienced a very bad period. The activity of the coronavirus starts from the lung and the ends there. As the disease progressed, severe pneumonia, respiratory failure and suffering, blood infection, blood pressure drop due to the increase of infection in the body and failure of body organs such as the heart and lung, and finally death may occur. After the involvement of the lungs, the immune system comes into action. The body is stimulated by the presence of a viral invader, and immune cells are used in the lungs repair and damage and repair and the tissue line. When this inflammatory process has its normal function, it is only limited to infected areas. But sometimes the immune system gets out of the control and destroys all of these cells and its path include healthy tissues. Therefore, instead of reducing the damage, the immune system aggravates it. More waste material accumulates in the lungs, and the pneumonia worsens and it can gradually lead to respiratory failure. Thank you guys for watching. I hope this video was useful for you and you enjoyed it. And if you have lost a life due to this disease, we sympathize with you from the bottom of our hearts. Don't forget to send it to your friends and activate the bell to be notified of our next video. We'll see you soon. Goodbye.